So here we are. Good morning, everyone. My name is Malin, and welcome to my bedroom, where I'm practicing most of the times these days, as it seems like. So yesterday we were working a lot on forearms, and we were doing lotus, hips, and all good stuff. And there was someone who actually reached out to me on the chat asking for Samakonasana. So then I thought, well, there you have a request right there and then. So why not, right? So today we're going to open up hamstrings a lot, the hips, inner thighs. So obviously, coming into that side splits. And also we're going to explore this on our hands. I actually haven't done it in a while now, but I do love to practice the press ups, and that is coming through from Samakonasana. We're going to use a little bit of wall as well today. So if you have two blocks, awesome. As always, I just suggest things. For the most part, you should listen in to where you are, each breath, each posture, and where you need to be. Maybe you don't have to come into full Samakonasana. Maybe it's enough just to sit and breathe through in a variation of moving towards it. All right, so let's come into a comfortable seat, however that might look like for you. Close your eyes. Start listening into your breath. Pay attention if you're taking deep breaths, or if it's a little bit shallow. If you're breathing fast, slowly breathing. Check in if you hold tension anywhere in your physical body. Your shoulders, your neck. Maybe your heart feels a little bit closed off. Maybe your mind is running around like a hamster in a hamster wheel. It's okay. Now start deepening the breath to the belly, rib cage, completely filling up. Open mouth and release. Feeling the shoulders returning towards earth. Breathe in. Exhale, slowly release. One more time, breathe in. And release. Now take your hands onto your heart. Feeling your heart in your hands. Maybe setting an intention for the practice. Maybe that intention is to let go of any expectations, any outcome from the physical practice, from holding the breath, or you're thinking that your mind's going to be completely silent. It is what it is. As long as we try to stay present, accepting what is. let your hands return to your knees. Now we're transitioning to the Ujjayi Pranayama, so seal your lips. Breathe in and out through the nose. Find that light contraction at the back of the throat. Keeping the inhale and the exhale the same way. Engage the pelvic floor for your Mula Bandha. Draw the navel to the spine, your Uddiyana Bandha. Feeling this calmness starting to surround you. Blink your eyes open. Then extend your feet out in front of you. Keep your feet hip width apart. Come to the front side of the sit bone, belly in, and then slowly, gently start folding forward into Paschimottanasana. You can drop the chin to the chest. Knees can stay bent. It doesn't have to be the deepest fold so far. Just pay attention as you're slowly opening up hamstrings and back. And inhale, come up. Bring the knees into the chest. Let your feet or knees fall out wide. Come to the front side of the sit bones. Lift your heart. And exhale. Again, you start leaning forward. If your elbows touching the thighs, you can let it put a little bit of pressure. And then inhale, come all the way up. Bring your knees together. Keep your feet hip width apart. Take the hands behind you. Fingertips pointing to the back of the room. Inhale, lift your hips up. Lean your head back. Try to get your hips in line with your shoulder, press into the knuckle of your index finger. And then exhale, take your hips down. Now take your hands, fingertips pointing out, wider than hip width apart. You're going to keep the hips the way they are. You're going to press into your hands and swing your hips back, almost like this hovering Paschimottanasana. Inhale, lift your hips up, back into this reverse table. Exhale, shift your hips, lift your hips up, belly in, press the mat away from you. Inhale, come up, reverse table. Shift it up. Inhale up. Exhale back. Inhale up. Exhale back. One more. And then come into a seat. Now cross your ankles, roll over onto your hands and knees. Big toes together, knees wide, shift your hips towards your heels. Child's pose, try to get the torso between your thighs. Walk your fingers forward, roll your armpits in. If you can, try to melt the heart towards earth. You can sway here just so you create that space to the hips, the inner thighs. Maybe over closing your fingers. Inhale, rise up to all fours, tuck your toes, lift your hips, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Pedal your feet out. We're slowly awakening the body. Make sure you're grounded in your hands, roll your armpits in, lift your kneecaps. Inhale, the right leg lifts. Nice and high. Roll your ankle. Open, close in the knee. And then circling your hip around.
Just lower your foot down. Inhale, left leg safe. Open up your legs, stack it open. Open, closing the knee. Then roll your hip. And set your foot down. Walk your feet forward, coming into the forward fold. Keep your feet hip width apart. And slowly, gently start rolling them along your spine.
The last thing that comes up is the head. Bring the shoulders to the ears. Exhale, sliding down your back. Hips are neutral. Grounding the soles of the feet into the mat. Shift the weight into your left foot. Become light onto the right. Knee turns out. Slide your foot to the calf. Maybe up into the inner thigh. Take the hands to the heart. Drop your tailbone. Standing in Virasana, three pose. Maybe floating the hands up. Relax the shoulders. Lift your chin. Listen back to the breath. Exhale, hands to your heart, right knee to the chest, and then set your foot down. Shift your weight into the right foot, become light onto the left toes. Turn the knee out. And then slide your foot up. Make sure you just don't put that foot onto the kneecap. Opening up, belly in. And then float your hands up, lift the chin. Two more breaths. Exhale, hands to your heart, left knee to the chest, and then set it down. Back into Samastiti. Spread your toes. Inhale, reach your arms up and over, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, hinge at your hips, fold forward, Uttanasana. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step your feet to plank pose. Lower down, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. And we're coming back to this down dog. We settle in and we take 5 strong Ujjayi breaths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, lift the heels. Bend your knees, step your feet forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, root to rise. Exhale, hands by your side. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step it back, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog, and breathe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, lift the heels, bend your knees, come forward. Inhale, half. Exhale, fold. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, Samastiti. Inhale, reach arms up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half. Exhale, chaturanga. Upward facing dog.
Exhale, downward facing dog. Exhale, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Inhale, lift the heels, bend your knees, step forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, bow. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, Samastiti. One last time, inhale, Urdhva. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half. Exhale, step it back. Upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. And 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, right leg lift. Exhale, knee to the chest. Nice and slow. Set your foot between your hands. Left knee comes down. Right, we're just going to stay here in Anjaneyasana, shifting the hips forward, and really feel how you start opening up into the left hip flexor. Spread your left toes wide. And then exhale, shift it back for hip split. Pull over the front leg. Your right hip back. You can even take your hand onto the toes. With that hand, pull your toes to the heart. And then inhale, come forward, plant your left hand, tuck the toe, lift the knee, inhale, right arm. Pull your hip back, opening up your chest, and breathe. Lift the glute, low back, IT bound. Exhale, hand comes down, left knee down, shift it back, half split, one more time. And then inhale, come forward. Now from here, you can keep your toe untucked. You can use blocks here if you prefer. Press into the top of the foot. All right, keep rolling that left hip back, down, belly in. So you may stay with your hands down. Maybe you take your hand up. You stay here, lift your heart. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Take your hands down, shift it back one more time, half split. Just to neutralize your hips. Inhale, come forward, tuck the toe, lift the knee. Knees over the ankle, toe points forward. Inhale, rise. Knee into Chandrasana. Keep reaching heel back, lift through the heart. Now inhale, come forward, warrior 3, arms by the ears. Try to square your hips. Having the toe in line with your hips, shoulders, arms. Plant your left foot back, inhale, rise, Chandrasana. And then exhale, hand comes down, step it back, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg. Exhale, knee to the chest, step it through. And then lower the knee down. And just stay here, hand tuck the toes, spread your toes. Exhale, shift it back. Flex the toe, pull it back, belly in, and then we fold. You can use that hand again. Inhale, come forward, plant your right hand, tuck the toe, lift the knee. Inhale, left arm. Keep pulling the left hip back, crown of the head forward, press into the right hand, open up the chest. Exhale, hand comes down, knee comes down, shift back, half split again. And then inhale, come forward, frame your foot, spread the toes wide, and then lift the knee off the mat. So again, you can stay, support, maybe you come up, lift the heart, belly in. Two more. And then lower the knee down, shift it back, just for a split of a second. Inhale, come forward, tuck the toe, lift the knee, lift it up, Ashtanga. Legs so strong, right heel's reaching back, lift through the heart. Inhale, come forward, launch yourself forward, Virabhadrasana 3. Have that long line. Foot, hips, shoulders, hands. Set your foot back, inhale, rise back, Ashtanga. Exhale, hand comes down, step into plank, Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Again, check in with intention. Inhale, lift your heels, bend your knees, step your feet forward. Inhale, up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, root to rise. Exhale, hands by your side, Samakonasana. Namaskar, big toes together. Bend your knees, inhale, sit to chair. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half. Exhale, step it, high plank. Upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. Right foot forward, Virabhadrasana 1. Exhale, Chaturanga. Urdhva Mukha. Exhale, Adho Mukha. Left foot forward, inhale, rise. Exhale, step it back. Come back to come onto your forearms. You can take your knees down. Make sure your hands are parallel. Spread your fingers wide. Lift your hips. Knees can be bent. Press into the forearms. Roll your armpits in. Belly is nice and strong. 2 more. You can take your knees down, otherwise press into your hands, come into your regular dog. Inhale, lift your heels, bend your knees, step forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees, inhale, sit to Utkatasana chair. Samastiti. Bend the knees, inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arm. Exhale, chaturanga. Upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. Right foot forward, inhale, rise. Exhale, chaturanga. Upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. Left foot forward, inhale, rise. Exhale, step it back. Upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. Come back to your forearms. And breathe. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Come out back up onto your hands. Inhale, lift your heels, bend your knees, step forward. Inhale, half. Exhale, bow. Bend the knees, sit to chair. Samastiti. Bend the knees, inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, fold. Inhale, half. Exhale, chaturanga. Upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. Warrior 1. Exhale, step it back. Upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. Left foot forward, inhale, rise. Exhale, chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Come back onto your forearms. And breathe. Come back up onto your hands. Keep your feet hip width apart and then walk your hands to the back of the mat. Take your feet, fingers around your big toes. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, bow. Belly pulls back in. Relax the neck and shoulders. Look between your legs. And breathe. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Inhale, half lift. Let your hands slide underneath your feet. Padahastasana. Lift up and then belly in. Exhale, fold. Relax your shoulders for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale, half lift. Let go of your hands. Right, and then take your shins down for a moment. All right, so just take a seat. So from here, we're going to jump forward and we're going to actually come into Malasana. So you can either just step forward, take your feet outside. I'm going to move my phone a little bit so I don't step on it. All right, or you're going to shorten your dog. You're going to hop up. You're going to float your feet up. And then when you come up, you're going to try to resist coming down with your feet. So you're planting your hands outside. You come up, just like we do with that, lift the heels, bend the knees, come forward, and you'll take your feet out, and then lower down. And here we are in Malasana. You just step forward. Take the hands to the heart, squeeze into the midline, lift the heart, we breathe. Never may come into a seat, so just take a seat. So we're going to take Navasana. So again, you've got options here. You can come back into Malasana. You can take an Utkatasana, so you take your da-da-da. Right, you can stay here. You can come up here. Or you can do the tucks, right? So from here, you come into an upside down chair, like this, and you hold it here, right? You can also take this to the wall. I look in between my legs now. Lift up, right? You tuck up and you hold. So you use the wall. Take your feet here, squeeze in, press the mat away from you. So you keep your toes here. 5 breaths. You come down, you take a seat, and you're back in to Navasana. All right, so I'm going to do this 3 times through, so you choose where you want to be. Here we go. Lift the chin, 5, belly in, lift the heart. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Plant your feet. So Malasana, Utkatasana, or if you want to do the tuck, you can turn to the wall. 5 breaths, and then you come back down onto your seat. Take your time. All right, so then we return to Navasana. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. You don't have to take the same variation. You can take something different, right, from the first one. I'm going to stick with my hands now because I'm a junkie that way. Take 5 breaths. Take your time. Back to Navasana. All right, and here we go, last time. So wherever you are, take the 5 breaths, and from there, you're going to land it back into Chaturanga Dandasana. And you can come into child's pose after that and rest. And then take your knees down, shift it back, child's pose. Again, check in with the intention. Make sure that you let go of the expectation. If they sort of try to sneak back into your mind, it's okay wherever you are. And come back to all fours, tuck the toes, lift your hips, downward facing dog. On the next inhale, lift your right leg. Exhale, knee to the chest, step it through. And then inhale, rise up, Here we are, Virabhadrasana B. Find the foundation, knees over the ankle, the toe points in the same directions as your toes. And the knee and the toes, that's what I was trying to say. Your left hip sort of comes down. If you want to turn your toe, if it's out, see if you can just wiggle it in a little bit. And then hold and hold feet together. You feel the lift. You're settling in. Steady gaze. 5. Down deeper. 4. 3. 2. And 1. Inhale, straightening out your front knee. And then reach forward, Utthita Trikonasana. Take your hand down. Opening up the chest. Hold the top hand up. The left shoulder blade down, chin from the chest. And we take 5. Exhale, look down. If your hand's onto your ankle or your foot, you can keep it there. Otherwise, forearm can come to the thigh. Now bend into the knee, right? So you're supporting yourself. Get that right hip underneath you. So you want to almost get the rib cage past the thigh. Keep pulling the heels together, and then reach left arm. So you have an internal rotation, pinky down. You got that long line, and now you spin your heart open. And breathe. Keep reaching back to that breath. Steady gaze. Look down, walk your hands to the long side of the mat. Turn your toes in. Prasarita Parvatanasana A. You already have your hands under the shoulders, so just come forward. Now spread your toes. So you have a little bit of weight into those toes. Rotate the table up. Your hips in line with your ankles, belly in. And then take the head down. Move the hands in line with the shoulders, chin to the chest. Opening up into the inner thighs, hamstrings, glutes. Take your hands underneath the shoulders and then inhale, lift and lengthen. Turn your left toe out, right? So it's to the corner, to the back corner, and then start coming into Skandasana, spinning that top foot up. Right, you want to try to move. Maybe you even take your left hand to the knee and then gently you move it. So you no force, nothing like that. You're getting the sensation into the inner thighs. Inhale, lift up, walk your hands to frame. Your right foot, left foot steps in, heel to heel alignment, hips are squared. Try to get your belly over that right thigh. Your right knee can be slightly bent if you prefer. Make sure you're grounding into the right big toe. And now we fold another 5 breaths. Inhale, half lift. Now your right hand, it comes to the hip. Left hand to the inside of outside. So we're going to set up for Pravrita Trikonasana. Another 5 breaths. Start twisting. Hand comes up. Exhale, look down. Right, Frame your foot and then step your left foot next to your right and fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, hands to the hips. Inhale, rise all the way up. Now shift your weight into your left foot, right knee to the chest. Peace fingers around your big toe. And then reach your foot forward. And breathe. Feel the energetic line from your foot through the hip, shoulders up to the crown chakra, and lift your chin. Open to the right. If you feel okay and you have the gaze, you can shift it over your left shoulder. Inhale, come back to the center. Let it go and then hold your foot, hands to the hips. Elbows back, lift the chin. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then release it down. Come into Samastiti. Inhale, reach your arms up and over, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, Ardha. Exhale, Chaturanga. Upward facing. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, knee to the chest, step it through, heel touch alignment. Knees over the ankle, the breath will take you up. Virabhadrasana be. Drop the right hip down, pull your heels together. Hips on neutral, belly in, arms out. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Straighten your front knee, reach forward, hinge at your hip. Back into Utthita Trikonasana. So you find that supported up. Right. Keep that length over the front leg. So rather than bring your hand up if you're sort of hunching a little bit. Bring the hand up, keep lengthening, shoulder lay down, breathe. Exhale, look down, bend into the knees. So forearm can come down onto your thigh or your hand onto the foot or to the floor. And then right arm reaches forward, pinky down. Pull your heels together, spin your heart, gaze towards your fingertips. Exhale, look down, walk your hands to the long side of the mat. I'm just turning around, so I'm not showing you my beauty. Right, take the hands onto the hips, interlace your hands behind your back. Again, shift the weight into the balls of the feet. Hand comes up and over, Prasarita Padottanasana. Then exhale, hand comes down. Inhale, half lift. Turn your right toe to the back, spin your left heel up, and then come down. You should be at the back of the mat. And again, if you feel something here, heels lifted, that's okay. Maybe you can take the hand and more of an opening into the inner thighs. Inhale, lift up, walk your hands to frame your left foot. Parsvottanasana, right foot steps in, heel to heel alignment, hips are squared, straightening out your front knee. Lift up, belly in, and then now you fold. Inhale, half lift. Right hand inside or outside, shin, ankle. Left hand to the hip. Inhale, lengthening. Start twisting. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Exhale, hand comes down, right foot next to the left, and fold. Take the hands to the hips. Inhale, take you all the way up. Neutralize your hips. Ground the soles of the feet into the mat. So you feel the bandhas again. Shift the weight into the right foot. Exhale. Left knee into the chest. Please fingers around your big toe. And then maybe you start extending the foot out. You can use that strap. You've got that long line. Lift your chin. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Open up to the left. Shift the gaze. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Come back to center. Let it go. Here we go. Elbows back. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come into Samasthiti. Left foot comes down. Hips are neutral. Hands by the side. Inhale. Urdhva Hastasana. Palms together. Shift the gaze. Exhale. Fold. Inhale. Half. Exhale. Plant your hands. Step it back. Chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Exhale. Downward facing dog. And take your knees to the mat. Good. Keep your hips over your knees and then walk your hands forward, coming into pose. Roll your armpits in. Belly in. Walk your hands back. Return to your down dog. And you're going to jump through to a seat. You're going to take the right foot outside your right hip. So you either just swing your knees around and come into a seat, right? Or you jump through from down dog. Make your dogs a little bit shorter. Make sure you can swing your legs through. There we go. All right, you can take your hand and externally rotate your calf muscle. All right, so you get your foot outside. Make sure you're grounding both sit bones down and then come up. All right, so you can use the blocks or a pillow to elevate your hips. Take the hands behind you and then inhale, lift, and do a little tuck and lower down. Here we go, we keep going. And when you find that your good spot, that's where you stay. Keep grounding that right hip. And that good stretch into the quad, all the way up into the hip flexor through the psoas. And inhale, slowly, gently start coming up. Let your foot stay where it's at. Take your left hand around your foot and then just lift your leg up. Belly in, gaze towards the toes. And breathe. And then release. And from here, just step it back to chaturanga. We jump through to Ardha Supta, so left foot outside, your left hip. Or you just take your knees down and swing it around. Take the calf muscle, move it to the side. Take your heel really close. Bend your right knee, you sit up, you adjust, start feeling it. You lift. Maybe you stay here. Different sides can feel very different. You're still breathing the strong Ujjayi breath, even though we're down onto the ground. The gaze is fixed, either at the spot or on the tip of the nose. And then slowly, gently start coming up. Konchasana. So sit up tall, grab your foot, extend it as much as you can. Both bones are grounded. And then try to get the shin towards your face, gaze towards your toes. And then release, let it go. And then step it back to downward facing dog, or nature chaturanga. Upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Jump through to a seat again. And then open up your legs. So Upavishta Konasana. Open up as much as you can. Come forward, toes are up. Now rotate come to the front side of the sit bones. Press into the back side of the legs. Thighs are engaged. And you start coming far forward as you can. We breathe. And then inhale, slowly, gently start making your way up. Cross your ankles. And then roll over back into chaturanga. Upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. Inhale, right leg. Exhale, knee to the chest, step it through, and then lower your left knee and the top of the foot now. So you might want to use the block. So my right hamstring has been shot for some time now. So you can either stay here or you can slide this forward, and then you can take a pillow or a block just under that hip. All right. You can sit up so you support it. Left foot comes out of your hip. This is Hanuman. You can option here to reach your arms up, shift the gaze up, and breathe. So many variations. You can fold forward over the leg. If you like, you can bend your left knee as you're reaching for the top of the foot. You can bring your foot in. And then let it go. Slide your foot back, tuck the toe, and then inhale, three-legged dog. And then lower your foot down. Inhale, left leg. Exhale into the chest, step it through. Lower the knee down, and then shift back. So again, use a pillow block as you're sliding yourself forward. Keep your hands supported with your hand. And then you can sit up, you can reach your hands up, you can fold forward anywhere where you feel it works for you. Full Hanuman. Maybe you come up, if you're bending the knee, go for it. And then let it go. Tuck the toe, slide it back, three-legged dog. And then walk your feet forward. Into a forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, hands to the hips. Inhale, rise all the way up. And back into Samastiti. All right, so here we come. All right, step your right foot back. So the toe turns out. So we're gonna almost come into to Prasarita stance. So we're gonna take the hands underneath the shoulders, and you're gonna try to keep your feet like this. So I'm gonna give you two options. You can take like the frog pose. So from here, you start hinching. So option here is to take your knees down. See how I'm flexing my foot, and it might be a case that you stay here and open up. All right, and you can come to your forearms, shift a little bit forward, and actually everyone can do this. So come here and shift back and hips back a little bit. Just prepping before we get into the full Samakonasana. Right, so option obviously would be then to stay. Otherwise, come back up onto the hands, lift your knees and your toes. Right, so now the feet are going, you're going to heel toe your feet out. Right, come down to the forearms and gently let your feet slide out. This is Samakonasana. And you're going to walk them back up. So if you're in frog pose, you put your feet together. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, hands to the hips. Inhale, rise all the way up. Step to the top of the mat for Samastiti. All right, so that is your Samakonasana. All right, so from here, I'm going to step away. So we're going to take it to handstand, and we're going to start with Hanuman, the splits, right? And then we're going to try to do the same thing with Samakonasana, right? So if you, how would I say this? So you will walk away. I don't even know if this, you can see my mat, right? So you will come away from the mat like this, and you're going to kick up, and you're going to take your toes, and this was not even too close. You can do this. You can take a foot. Right, see that? So that's where you put your hands. So now you have the measure. Right, here you are. Have your toes. Your balance here. Option is to come through and do the other one. Right, so you do like this scissors, or you come down and do the same thing. Right, so about 5 breaths on each side. Or you do it in the middle of the room. You decide to use the Samakonasana on your hands. Oh, sorry, Hanuman. you come down, take a moment, maybe take a seat onto the shins. Right, so if you are still working on balancing with your hand, you can actually take a handprint away from the wall. So like this, if you see. So about a handprint, a little bit. So when you come up, you're going to take the crown of the head up to the into the wall. So you come into handstand, and from there you're going to split your legs. So you look like this. You come up. I've got painting also on the other side, so I have to be careful so I'm not knocking them down, and I bring my feet up. Right, so head in, and now from here, see if you can split your legs. Right, head is in, point your toes. Maybe you can push into the hands and the fingers, moving the head up. Right, or you do that in the middle of the room. I have to come off the mat because otherwise I'm going to kick in. Right, so you breathe about 5 breaths. So there you are in Samakonasana on your hands. So practice what you need. Finger slides on the floor. Take your time. So here it comes the blocks. So now we're going to do the press ups. The last little fun. So we can do this obviously with or without the blocks. It's easier to have the blocks because you get your hips higher up, right? So you can choose what height. So you take them like that. You set your feet on them. Go back. See, all right. So we're going to do like the puppy press to start off with. So you take your hands down. Right, you lean in. So say you lean into your right foot and bring your left knee up, and you bring your foot to the. You come up onto the toes, and then you press. You need to press firmly into the right hand so you can shift the weight into both. You become light. And there you are in Samakonasana with the puppy press. Make sure you try both. I think I'm gonna have to show you my booty. It will be easier because I don't have the wall. I keep my hand on the mat. And then obviously the other side too. Take your time. Again, let go of any outcome that you think you might have. Again, thinking that you did it once and now we're going to do the worst side. My less favorite side. Right. There it is. All right, so last and final. Again, you can use the blocks. So it's all about shifting the weight into your hands and shifting the hips over your shoulders. Right, so again, you can use that. And it's okay if you use a little bit of momentum. Obviously, like those really cool people, they just use the bandhas and floated feet up, which is amazing, right? But if you use a little momentum to get the little bit of a leg lift into it, I'm not going to say that. I'm not the yoga police, right? So here we go. Let's try it. Plant your hands. Come up onto the toes. It might be a case where you just start shifting a little bit like this. Then you become light. Shift your hips over. And then make your way into a child's pose. That was fun, right? And then come up into all fours, right foot between your hands. Bring your right foot over to the left, take your shin, thigh, sit bones comes down. And then fold forward, Ekapada Rashtra Kapotasana prep. You may stay here. Maybe you want to come into the full Ekapada Rashtra Kapotasana. So come up. Maybe we're going to bend the knee and you're going to reach for the top of the foot. So it might be that you just bring it in like we did in the when we were in Hanuman. Or you're going to take your left hand and hold on to the other part of the foot. And from here, mindfully, you're going to rotate your shoulder. Let's see if I can do it. Nice and slow. I need chalk or a strap. That's okay. Remember, we let go of the outcome. And then from here, tuck the toe, lift your right foot up and back. Lower the knees to the mat. Left foot between your hands, and then just heel toe your foot over and take your shin, thigh, sit bone comes down. Ekapada Rashtra Kapotasana prep. So you're folding forward. Slowly start coming up. And if you were going to go for Ekapada Rashtra Kapotasana, and the knee, maybe you just bring it in while you're grabbing the foot. When you're ready, you come out of it. You can come up if you're in lying down, and then bring your left leg up and back. And then come through to a seat, lie down onto the backs. We ordered there, so 3 Urdhva Dhanurasana or Setu Bandha Sarvangasana. So come all the way down, bringing the arms alongside of the body. So either you just lift your hips up, shimmy your shoulder underneath you, or your hands in line with your shoulders. And then press up. Come down, take a moment. Inhale, lift up. Lower down. Last 5 breaths. Inhale. And then lower down. Hug your knees into the chest. Rock yourself up into a seat. Extend your feet out in front of you. Fold over your front leg, Paschimottanasana. Inhale, come all the way up. Right knee to the chest. Step it over. You can bend your left knee. Have your foot in just in line with your knee. Press into the hip and behind you. Hug the knee in, belly in. Breath takes you long and tall. The twist on the exhale. Inhale, come back through center and then switch. Twist to the left. Inhale, come back through center. Come into a seat, however that might look like for you. So, maybe Sukhasana. Take the hands to the knees, shoulders over your hips. Close your eyes. Maybe bringing the chin to the chest slightly. Keep breathing, listening in. Open up your eyes and then lie down onto your back. You have arrived. Let go. Let go of the breath, the bandhas. Let go of anything that you're still holding on to. Just melt into the floor, into the mat, into the earth.
you're ready to come out, start wiggling your fingers and toes as you're deepening your breath. Stretch long. Bring your knees into the chest and come up into a seat. Once again, we sit up tall now. We're breathing naturally. Close your eyes. Take your hands to your heart, chin to the chest. Namaste. Thank you so much for practicing with me this morning. I hope you have a beautiful rest of the day, and I hope to see you next time.